On Christmas morning, my husband handed me an envelope and said, "I want to add my mother as co-owner of our house." I just stared at him. My mother-in-law was sitting by the tree with her legs crossed like she already owned the place. My husband squeezed my shoulder a little too tight. "She deserves security after everything she's done for us. This is the right thing to do." She nodded along like they had practiced this. But this was my house that my father left me when he was dying of cancer. He made me promise to never let it go, and it was the last thing he ever said to me. I pulled away from him and said I needed time to think. He laughed. "Think about what? Just sign it." He didn't let it go. Every day he brought it up, and every day he got meaner about it. Then one night at dinner, he set down his fork and just stared at me from across the table. "My mother sacrificed everything for me, and you can't do this one thing after everything I've given you?" I sat there looking at him, and I realized he actually believed he was entitled to my house. Then his mother chimed in. "It's not like you earned it. It was handed to you. The least you can do is share it with family." After that, I stopped arguing and started watching. I checked our bank account, and $40,000 was gone. I started noticing his mother's car in our driveway on days he told me she was out of town. Then I found a second bank account with both their names on it that I had never seen before. That night, I was lying in bed in the dark, and his phone buzzed on the nightstand. The screen lit up with a text from his mother. "Did she sign yet? The bank appointment is next week, and we can't miss it." I held my breath and listened to him snoring next to me. I waited until he was fully asleep, and then I carefully reached over and picked up his phone. I opened his messages with his mother, and what I found made me want to throw up. There were months of texts where they planned the whole thing together. She called me gullible and said I was just some girl who got lucky. Their plan was simple. I sign the papers, and they take out a loan against my house and drain the money and leave me with a debt. Then I saw the message that made me freeze. "She's too trusting to ever figure it out. She's not smart enough to ask questions." I scrolled up to see when these messages started. 2 months before our wedding. He never loved me. He married me for my house. My hands were shaking, but I screenshotted everything and sent it to my email while glancing over every few seconds to make sure he was still asleep. The next morning, my lawyer looked at everything and said, "This is fraud. We file today." That night, he came home grinning. "Mom found an earlier appointment. Tomorrow work?" I looked him right in the eyes and smiled. "Sure, I'm ready." The next morning, he woke up to divorce papers on the kitchen table. He is standing in the kitchen holding the papers, and his hands are trembling. He looks at me, and all the color drains from his face. "What is this?" I don't say a word. I just lean against the counter and watch his eyes move across the page. He throws the papers at the wall and screams that I can't do this to him. He calls his mother over and over, but she doesn't answer. Eventually, we ended up in a courtroom. My lawyer puts his mother on the stand, and she won't even look at me. My lawyer pulls up the texts on the screen and asks if she wrote them. She tries to say no, but her name is right there. The judge warns her about perjury, and her face crumbles. Tears run down her cheeks as she admits everything. How her son came to her with a plan. How they spent months scheming to take my house and leave me with a debt. My husband slams his fists on the table. "Shut up, you're ruining everything!" The judge tells him to sit down, but he is out of control now. His lawyer argues no crime was committed, but my husband yells, "It would have worked if this idiot kept her mouth shut." The judge says he just admitted to conspiracy to commit fraud in her courtroom. He jumps up and his chair crashes to the floor. That house was wasted on her anyway. 2 bailiffs grab him and drag him toward the doors. He looks right at me and screams, "Your father should have left it to someone who actually matters." The whole courtroom gasps. The judge looks at me. He gets nothing. I kept the house and changed the locks that night. He moved in with his mother. Last I heard, she kicked him out too.